water district create an application for this board, correct?
Yes. The director of the Water Environmental Engineering Research Center came to my office one day and had said that a request had been made to locate people who would be able to address water quality, quantity issues associated with Lake Poncet, and I received, I believe, your contact information from them.
And based off of that contact, were you involved with the application process?
Yes. Myself and Mr. Emmons were basically worked on preparing the applications and preparing the report that the board had requested, that the Lake Poncet Water District Board had requested.
And which aspect of the application were you directly involved with?
I spent more of my time on the water quality aspects.
And during the course of your investigation to draft the application, did you have the opportunity to review information about Lake Poncet?
Yes, yes. Lake Poncet is a glacial lake within Hamlin and Brookings counties. It's located fairly close to Brookings. I believe Pat covered a lot of the background on that.
To be succinct, we'll attempt to avoid to go over that. And before we get into the specifics of what you learned about Lake Poncet, where are you actually from, Dr. Burberry?
Where do I live?
Correct.
Okay, I'm sorry. I live at 46910 227th Street, which is a Brookings address. It's actually 2 miles into Moody County.
So you're very familiar with the area?
Yeah. I actually grew up around that area when my mom attended SDSU and received her degree in geography, and then she worked for Soil Conservation Service. Actually drew most of the state maps for soil on. She actually can paint with most of them.
Now, while preparing the application, did you have an opportunity to learn what exactly the designated uses of Lake Poncet are?
Yeah, the designated uses that we used came from this Phase 1 diagnostic study, and they are, their page. Designated uses are number 1, warm water semi-permanent fish life propagation. Number 2, immersion recreation. Number 3, limited contact recreation. And number 4, wildlife propagation stock watering.
So in these designated uses, it's more than simply a fishery, correct?
Yes, there are 3 additional ones: the immersion recreation, limited contact recreation, wildlife propagation, and stock watering.
And when looking at these designated uses of Lake Poncet, what are the criteria and parameters that have to be taken notice of when looking at those?
All right, there are 11 criteria. Again, that's from the Phase 1 diagnostic study. The first one is that total chlorine residuals must be less than 0.02 milligrams per liter or 0.02 parts per million. Unionized ammonia nitrogen may not exceed 0.03. Starting on the okay. Unionized ammonia nitrogen may not exceed 0.04 milligrams per liter as nitrogen. Dissolved oxygen must be greater than 5 milligrams per liter. pH must be greater than 6.5 units and less than 9 units. Suspended solids may not exceed 90 milligrams per liter. Temperature may not exceed 90 degrees Fahrenheit. The number 7 is a rather long paragraph. Fecal coliform organisms from May 1st to September 30th may not exceed a concentration of 200 per 100 milliliters as a geometric mean based on a minimum of 5 samples obtained during separate 24-hour periods for any 30-day period, and they may not exceed this value in more than 20% of the samples examined in this 30-day period. They may not exceed 400 per 100 milliliters in any one sample from May 1st to September 30th. Number 8 is total alkalinity, may not exceed 750 milligrams per liter measured as calcium carbonate. Number 9, total dissolved solids may not exceed 2,500 milligrams